Brown Seneca-Soshin Elk Talk 9, the Tao Te Ching and Patagonia. Let me begin with a verse from the Tao Te Ching. Fill your bowl to the brim and it will spill. Keep sharpening your knife and it will blunt. Chase after money and security and your heart will never unclench. Crave for other people's approval and you will become their prisoner. Do your work and step back. That's the only path to serenity. So, in a nutshell, what it is saying is from a professional standpoint, one works not to impress but to express. One works not to get applause but for a cause. And what this has got to do with Patagonia is it has to do with Patagonia, the famous outdoor equipment and apparel company Patagonia, named after the mountain range Patagonia, the region, was founded by Yuan Shunad somewhere in the 1970s, around that time. But it's very interesting to note how Yuan Shunad's early life was. This goes back to the late 50s when he was an avid climber, an alpinist. He climbed the rock faces, the Dawn Hall, um, and the many other famous wall faces, rock wall faces in Yosemite as well as Wisconsin. And he and his merry band of climbers were literally penniless, but for their love for mountain climbing. And as part of the sport, then he started to make equipment in a small way. He bought a coal fired forge from a junkyard and started to shape pitons, the metal spikes that go into the rock face, crampons, ice axes. He started playing around with different shapes, uh, metal types or alloys, and finished his art. And he started selling those. And more importantly, they had so little money, they didn't have much money at times for food, so they used to shoot squirrels and porcupines and eat them. So that was his early life before he became a billionaire, 30, 40 years later, which he is now. He's around 81 years old. So what he was doing in his life encapsulates the wisdom in that verse that I began this talk with from the Tao Te Ching. He didn't chase after money, and he was not seeking other people's approval. He pursued his passion, and he made a good business of it, and he was able to flourish on both sides of the equation. And one of the interesting things about is he is a very passionate and avid environmentalist. And actually, some of the equipment that he forged, like the pitons, back in the day, they were holes were drilled and they were bolted into the rock wall. But he came up with a sort of an expanding jaw type of a design where you could use it and take it out of the mountain cracks without any scarring of the mountain face. So that was an example. And his company Patagonia uh, is big on recycling and reusing the materials so that environmental damage or wastage is reduced. They actually want you to return your torn jackets or zips gone bad for fixing and for reuse. So that is the ethos and the ethic of Patagonia. And in my point of view, both Yuan Shunad and Lao Tzu, who composed the Tao Te Ching, have lots in common. And probably there is something here for us to take away, that we work not to impress but to express, and we do not work for applause but for a cause, and all good things will follow. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.